I was legally adopted, the reason why I said it was the best day of my life is because I know no matter what any workers might say, they will not take me away from this home. And because with dealing with the state, no matter how old you are, they can still move you. I'm like, wow, this is permanent. And I said, I already love this woman. I've loved this family, but this is permanent. And for the judge, when the judge told me I was legally adopted, I hugged them and I said, thank you. You saved my life.
We had a blended family, and it was actually very easy to bring Annie into that because our sense of family was a little broader than some definitions might encompass.
Since I was a little girl, I've dreamed of having a family that they wouldn't mind if I changed my original last name and took their last name to signify, yeah, you are part of this family. You are our daughter.
Liddy and Willie are my children. They are the children that belong to my family like the rest of the kids are. And I would change their name to mine. I would adopt and make them legally, they're mine anyway, but legally I would make them mine tomorrow, today.
Having a permanent connection with my mother, my foster mother, Pat, has meant, it means, I can't even put into words, tell you the truth, because it's like anybody that has a family, a loving family, you know how it feels when you're away from your family. And if they were not there, how crushed you would be. And that's how I feel about my connection with her, you know.
And with my parents, I feel a strong connection, like a lifelong tie, because they've adopted me and they made a commitment, and I've made that commitment to them as well. So we're starting to rebuild a stronger relationship.
Kids really thrive when they know that they're permanent in a family. And I think there are a lot of rituals that we do and a lot of things that we do in our family that really make sure that Kayla knows that she's part of this family just as much as anybody else.
I know I'm going to be there forever, and I'm not going to be switching home to home to home. And I can build a relationship with them. And I know, like, when I am grown up and when I move out of the house and have my own family and everything, I can come back to them as if they were my real family.
Regardless to what my mother has done or how mad I may be at her or if I'm upset at Earl, that's still my brother, that's still my mother.
It's hard for them to get me out of the house because I'm with my mom now and I love her and she loves me back. And like, that's what I wanted and now I have it, so.
Right now my family consists of my aunts, my cousins, my dad. Recently added was my mom and my lost sister. And then there's my brother and sister that have been there. With the aunts and cousins and everything, I know they're gonna be there. They've told me before, you're stuck with us. You can wanna leave. You can go to California, or we're gonna follow you and bring you back.
It's possible to be loved for who you are, no matter the race you are, your skin color, your religion, even your sexual preference. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that people are out there looking to have someone like you in their life. There's a lot of people out there that think family is not possible at the age of 20 or even at the age of 18. It's possible. And I know it's possible because it happened to me.
You can find permanency in the oddest places, but you just can't give up. That's the biggest thing.
or the place I was living before, like, it was kind of, like, very strict and, like, you have to do this, this, and this. But living in a family, I've learned that it's a lot different, and every person has their own say. They work together as if you're just, like, one group.
She's a very insightful child. She's a very compassionate child. And I think that she's worried about how a decision for adoption would affect her birth mom and dad and her siblings. Kayla's like a plant, a very complicated plant that has, a couple different root systems. She has a root system with her brothers and sisters, with her grandparents, with her mother, and soon to be with her birth father. She's also, planting roots with our family. And I think for her to be healthy and successful as an adult, the more supports she has in place, the more networks and systems that she can fall back on and rely on, I think that's going to be the best for her. Kayla really deserves permanency in her life, and to know that there's a family that she's going to be growing with for the rest of her life.
And it's a family that she's going to grow with that isn't going to shut out her biological family. And I think that that's important to Kayla too, that I don't think she would be really much into this adoption if she had the feeling that we were going to say, okay, you're legally our daughter now, so everything that happened in your past, and I think that would just hurt Kayla, which would in turn hurt our family, and we wouldn't want that.
In order to maintain these relationships, I'm going to have to forgive the people that allowed them to die. Because part of me wanted to just hate them for the rest of my life because they did just disappear. But then I found that with what I've heard from the social workers, there were pieces missing. And when I finally did connect with them, they were able to fill in those holes and tell me what had happened. Like them trying to find me and then being told not to contact me anymore. That kind of just washed away all the anger that I held towards my family.
Keep everyone involved, and by everyone I mean birth parents and the adoptive parents. Keep everybody on the same page. I was impulsive. I just kind of like jumped for it because I knew I could do it. So once I was just like on the internet, and once I found my mom, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna do it. So, and I didn't keep everyone involved, so they were like, I called her and I called my adopted mother and I told her, and she was like, what? So she wasn't prepared.
The thing that I did wrong is I didn't keep the communication as open as I should have with the birth mom and myself and my husband. And I think there was some stuff that was going on there that wasn't, that didn't allow for all truthfulness to be out in the open.
I mean, I can't imagine what Dee went through when Dan, found me. I mean, I can't imagine that it was, it wasn't easy for her, obviously. It wasn't easy for any of us. I think there may have been a little bit of resentment on both parts. I wanted to be more a part of his life, and she was probably pulling him back. As time goes on, and as Dan has life events, and we're not gonna have a choice but to all just sort of mesh. Well, I guess we do have a choice, but I think that we all want what's best, and the choice will be to mesh, and I think we will.
We are Dan's family. Sometimes Dan chooses to be around more than other times. Sometimes he doesn't choose to be around as much. A lot of young adults are that way, especially when they're making poor choices. However, maybe when Dan starts making better choices, he'll come around more because he'll be more proud of his choices that he's making in life. We'll always be part of Dan's family. We'll always be part of Dan's network.
when I went to Liddy's graduation from college, we got stuck in traffic. She was having a fit because I had not arrived yet, and she just did not want that graduation to take place. And believe it or not, with all those people there, she spotted me come into the stadium and started to yell, "There's my mom." As a matter of fact, the whole line that she was sitting with was yelling, "Liddy, there's your mom, there's your mom, calm down." So that it's a wonderful, it's a connection, and it's a wonderful experience.
Everyone, no matter what their age is, deserves to have a lifelong family connection, a core family, someone that's going to be there for them as long as they're alive.
Somebody should have went to my mother and talked to her. Would you like to adopt her? Then I wouldn't have been adopted at 21. I think I would have been adopted maybe at the age of 16, 15, if somebody would have, talked to her sooner.
The people who might be recruited are people who might be willing to not only make a permanent commitment to a child, but maybe to the whole family.
We appreciate where Kayla's been, and we also appreciate where she's going. It's a very different lifestyle that she has now than what she had before, and it will come down to at some point in her future, her making some decisions, but we really want her to maintain a relationship with us while also maintaining a relationship with her mother and father from her original family. I think that's going to be critical for her.
I think the whole termination of parental rights is okay, but to say that they can't see them is bogus to me.
There needs to be more effort to support birth families and look at ways to keep children connected, even if it isn't living with them. And that sort of cut and dried, compartmentalized sort of process needs to change.
What about when you age out, who you going to come to, who you gonna go home to? And that's what's most important. And permanence is the most important thing. And now that I found it and I've noticed, I don't know what I would have done without it.
Knowing that we're gonna always be there if you need somebody to talk to or someone to go to, or somewhere to have holiday dinners or a phone call.
If I had not reunified, the children were still in foster care, I truly believe I wouldn't even be sitting here probably talking to you, because my drive for life would have been gone.
This isn't an easy thing, and I'm still in the process myself, but I'm telling you, even what we've accomplished now, I feel it well worth it, because just being back with your family, there's nothing better than that.